boys and girls, it's Mr. Slates again. It's time for lesson 5. If you remember right, the 2 goals of what we've been doing throughout all of these lessons is to, number 1, make sure that we're writing all of our letters. And how many letters in the English alphabet are there? 26. To write all 26 of our letters correctly, because this brain muscle will really help that to get in our head, and that's great for our reading and our writing and our spelling. The second thing, because English words are made up of sounds, we want to make sure that we know all of the correct sounds of all of these letters. So speaking of sounds, let's review the sounds that we've done so far. I'll say the sound or sounds, you repeat. You ready? Here we go. O, T, I, I, ya. K, the tall one. A, ah. K, s. D. A, o, u. Qua. Mm. U, U, Ba. Pa. V. Wa. X. Ya, I, E. Z. Nice job. Give yourself a pat on the back. All right. We have one more stroke type to learn. And there's only actually 2 letters we're going to cover that have tails. And then we've got a blank sheet because some of our letters don't fall necessarily into some of the categories we've already talked about. All right, let's do our first tail letter. This is the letter G. I'll say the sounds, you repeat. Ready? Say G, ja. Did you hear that? 2 sounds. G, ja. Now I don't want to hear G, ja. There's no U at the end of this. It makes 2 sounds. All right. Now we've talked about donuts, right? If you remember how to make the donut A, then you're so close to the G. Okay, I'm going to start at the midline. I'm going to go left with my donut and come all the way around and close it, pull straight down, and make the tail. Go ahead and practice, and as you do, say G, G as you do it. Here's my next tail letter. This is the letter J. Repeat the sound after me. J. It's very quick. J. Now, the letter J, I also start at the midline, and I pull straight down and then make the same tail as the G. Watch. I start at the midline, pull straight down, make my tail. I have to pick up my pencil or my marker and make my dot like with the I. Go ahead and make that several times. All right, the next 3 letters are a little bit odd. Odd means strange or just different. They don't necessarily fall into these categories as well. Let's look at our first one. This is the letter E. Repeat the sounds after me. Say E. Notice it says its name, doesn't it? E. Now, the letter E has a horizontal line, and then it goes up into a donut like a C. So watch how I do it. Just below the middle line, I'm going to make a horizontal line starting here and going right, and then I go up into a donut like a C, and I make my E. Go ahead and make it several times, and each time you do it, say E, E. Make sure you're doing it right as well, so you get it in your brain exactly how to make that letter. Here's our next letter. This is the letter S. Repeat the sounds after me. S, Z. Exactly. The second sound is like a Z sound. Z. Now, I don't know about you. I really like the S because it's so smooth, but it's not quite a donut, okay? And it's not quite any of these other things. So watch when I make my S. I start a little bit below the midline, and I go up and over like I'm about to make a C, but I come back around and circle around, okay? So it's like this, S, S. Go ahead and make that letter. Here's our last letter that we're going to cover. This is the letter F. Repeat the sound. F. Did you see how my teeth went onto my lips? F. Okay. The letter F does have a long stick, but it's like there's a tail upside down. It's way at the top. So watch how I make my letter F. Just below the very top line, I curve up and over and pull straight down. Curve up and over, pull straight down, almost like a backwards candy cane. I pick up, watch where I cross. I start over here on the left and cross to my right, like how I read. Go ahead and make that several times. Okay, boys and girls, check it out. You have learned how to make correctly all 26 letters of the alphabet. You've also learned all the sounds that they make. All the sounds they make. Now, we're not quite to 45 yet. We're getting closer, but we're not quite to 45. In the next lesson, I'm going to teach you something called spelling dictation, which will help you when you go to spell words. Bye-bye.